Good morning and welcome to Company Culture with Yvette C. Owens. I come to you this morning to talk about believing the better. Believing the better of what, you might be asking. I am the author of Conquering Corporate Enemies, Mind, Personalities, and Situations. I'm also the author of No Bosses Allowed, Lead to Serve and Transform. Hopefully you can hear me fine. I'm going to keep getting set up here as you join today, this morning. Please share. Please share the broadcast. Please like the broadcast. Please subscribe if you're on YouTube. If you're on YouTube, subscribe. If you're on Facebook, like and share. If you're on LinkedIn, share, and share some more. Again, this is Yvette C. Owens. Just continuing to get set up here. And there we go. Yvette C. Owens from Company Culture with Yvette C. Owens. I am again the author of Conquering Corporate Enemies, Mind, Personalities, and Situations, where I talk about my experience in corporate as well as those that I've worked with and consulted with, mentored, coached, so that not to really cause people to feel bad, but so that we can learn how to create cultures that really will thrive, where everyone in the organization can thrive. That's my desire, my greatest desire, is that we have create cultures where leaders lead from a place of truth, with authenticity, and with care and empathy for those in their under their leadership, who they're leading, who have come on, care for those who have come on to partner with them and grow and build the vision that they all signed on to make come to a reality. And again, it's important that we do that. Leadership is the answer. Leadership matters, but so do the people who you're leading. And the healthier we are as leaders, the healthier our organization. And that's from every leader, from the top, the visionary, down, and throughout the organization. Today we're talking about believe the better. And we are a symptom of what we believe. Our beliefs actually drive our decision making, it drives our choices, it drives our speech, it drives our behavior, it drives our self care, and we have to believe the better. Some have been trained in the workplace to assimilate to a pattern of behaviors, a pattern of thought that's in that culture, which may not be very healthy. And then when it conflicts with what you believe, then within your core, when you it's conflicting with what you really sense is, let's just say, the right thing to do. And that's not with quotes. I believe that everyone has a sense of right and wrong within them. We may choose to ignore the right for the wrong, but I believe every one of us has a sense of choice, right and wrong. And when we choose to assimilate, when we choose to follow leadership or practices that are in front of us that conflict with our right in in the very core of us, then we stop believing the better and we believe and follow the worse. And as leaders, when we do that, we sacrifice everyone else who has signed up, who is partnering with us to complete an assignment, who's completing or fulfilling a vision with us. Everyone else then is challenged to compromise the better for the worse. So when we do that, when we're not confident in ourselves and who we are, what we've been made to do, who we've been created to be, and our purpose. And I know that sounds like very lofty things, but at the real core of nature and every human being, we have a purpose. There's a plan that's been created for us that it had us in mind. And so we have to have more faith in what we were created to do and be than we do in those who are giving maybe direction externally to us. Because until those two things line up, then you will be in conflict and you will not be believing the better. And so we've heard, some of us have heard some things directed at us, talked to us, said about us, um, as they've been trying to shape us into something that we may not have been called to become. And as we ingest all of that, I will say toxic language, we start to believe that over what's really at the core of our being, what we sense, what makes us at peace. And I've always said, I've shared the story before that I was at lunch with some colleagues, and I realized that I had lost my joy. And when you lose your joy, you've lost your sense of peace. And it had nothing to do with our conversation. It just spewed out of me all of a sudden that I want my joy back. And I didn't have my joy back because I had so much negativity coming at me. And I started to believe it, even though I was with all my might fighting against it, which was what was stealing my joy. You can start to, it's like those little seeds, those little drops of water. And you say, oh, it's not so bad outside. It's not so bad. But then you get home and your clothes are soaked. Your clothes are still damp enough that you're uncomfortable in keeping them on because it's just those little drops, just those little drops that continue to make everything moist, make you uncomfortable. The same thing is with what you hear day in, day out. You may think, I'm strong, I believe who I am, I know who I am, and I'm going to still be my authentic self. But those little drops, those tiny drops, those biased comments, those things that are coming at you, cause you to start believing those things, cause you to start behaving differently. When you have to fight for so long to stay on top, when you have to fight for so long to be visible, when you have to fight for so long to be able to be recognized and to be acknowledged and promoted and elevated in your field, those droplets of negativity coming at you, you'll never make it. They might not say those words to you, but everything coming around you is saying that. Don't get the assignments that others get. You're not getting the recognition even when you play a role on another assignment or a project. All those things are little droplets that are dampening your soul, dampening your being, dampening your belief system, dampening your core so that you start believing that you're less than. I had the privilege of just the other day kicking off our I Am the Answer leadership mastermind for teens. And right now we have young men who are in the program, and we talked about how it's important to understand your identity, know who you are, because until you know who you are, others will define you. Unless you know who you are, others will define you. And we want to make sure that others know that you know who you are and you are the one defining you. That's not to say that we're not open to feedback. That's not to say that we're not open to change and learning, because great leaders always continue to learn. Great leaders always continue to push forward. Great leaders always continue to expand their realm of influence, and we can only do that by being exposed to different situations, different people, different atmospheres, different cultures. We can only do that and believe going in there with the positive motive, because we want to learn. We want to include that realm, that information in who we are becoming, and it's at our own choice, not maybe the direction of someone else or being forced upon us. So we have to believe that there's greater in each of us. I've said that to those young men on Monday, and they got it. They understood. And because they're teens, we used an example from um, the being in school where you have that teacher that no matter what happens and no matter what you do, they if you make that one mistake, they always bring that one mistake up to you, and they were all able to resonate. That all resonated with each of them because we've all had that one teacher, that one leader, that one person. Hey, sometimes it's been a parent or a relative. Excuse me, who just won't let us forget that one thing. And so we focus on that one thing that we've done instead of believing all the better things about ourselves. So, first and foremost, point when we talk about believe the better, we have to believe the better about ourselves. Does that mean we're perfect? Absolutely not. But it does mean that I know there's great in me and I'm going after that great. Now, once you do that, then we can believe the better about others because now we're compassionate. Now, if I have grace for myself, I now have grace for others. And as a leader, that's so important because everyone who you're leading is not going to get it right the first time. You're going to give them opportunities to try different things, to be on assignments, and they may miss it. How do you handle it when others miss it? Believe the better. And let's not fool ourselves. We all come with biases. Let's confront those biases. Be authentic in the confronting of those biases. Challenge those biases and then commit to getting over them, moving beyond them, not letting them trap us because those biases literally trap you into a place of thought and into a place of behavior that does not allow you to go as far as you can go and be as great as you can be. And it then traps those around you if they stay in your circle and in your influence. We don't want to do that. We're far better than that and we're far greater than that. And we should want those who are around us to do great things, to fulfill their purpose. You often hear parents say, I want you to do better than what I've done. I want you to have more than what I've had. The only way we can do that is shake off those biases, shake off those things that we have thought of people, thought of groups of people, and look for the better. Not only look for it, but believe in the better. Believe there's better. Believe there's better in those people who you've classified or you've stereotyped. Believe the better and go search for it. Sit down, talk with them. And then once you believe in yourself, the better in you, and believe the better in others, then you will make better decisions. And that's where we're really trying to get to, that our decisions are the best decisions at any given moment. And in any given involving any given group of people, we want to make sure we are making the better choices in spite of the influences that are around. I was reading some articles yesterday about our former president and how things are starting to unravel or continue to unravel, and where he had trust in certain people where he put them in position, now they're making choices according to their consciousness, which does not align up with where he's thinking they should be, and now he's not believing the better. Well, when we put people in place and when we have people come on our team, we need to be able to give them the right to be able to think and be themselves. So as we choose people to come on our teams, as we choose people for assignments, let's believe the better, that they will succeed. Encourage people to succeed. Encourage that you believe, tell them you believe in them, and that's why you put them in that place. Will they be perfect? Again, no. None of us are perfect. But that's when the leadership is there to support them, to help bring others up, help them avoid some of the pitfalls that we know are out there. We don't leave our teams headed down a road and let them step into the mine. We don't leave teams down the road or up the hill and allow them to be shattered by the bombs that can come at them. We prepare them with everything that we know that's in them because we want better for them and better for ourselves. We want better for our organizations. We want to strategically implement the change that we want to come forth. So I wanted to share this with you. Believe the better first in yourself. And when you start to believe the better in yourself, don't believe the rhetoric. And I'm not discounting training. Training is good, get the learning. But at the end of the day, we have to have a revelation within ourselves how to apply any training that we receive, any information and knowledge, and it has to settle well in your very core of your being so you remain and contain and maintain your peace, maintain your joy. If it's stealing your peace and stealing your joy, there's something wrong with it, and you need to evaluate it, inspect it, and adapt, change, and make the turn so that you still are able to feel good about how you're behaving, good about the decisions that you're making. Again, this is Yvette Owens. Follow me on Facebook at Company Culture with Yvette C. Owens or the Diplomat Chronicles, or follow me at Yvette C. Owens. Also on LinkedIn, I'm happy to connect with people on LinkedIn as well as my YouTube channel, Yvette C. Owens. Subscribe, share, like, because I want to help leaders. I want to help leaders become better leaders because with better leaders, we are becoming better organizations, and there will be no doubt in my mind that we will achieve the vision that we have before us with far better expectations. We're going to exceed the expectations. We're going to exceed the KPIs, those key performing indicators. We're going to exceed them if we come to the table as better people, and then we help those around us become better people. Have a fantastic day. Remain safe and have a sound mind as you're making the choices for yourself and for those you influence. Until next week. Oh, I also wanted to share, if you go to my Facebook page and even my LinkedIn pages, I've released my new book, No Bosses Allowed, Lead to Serve and Transform. It's a free ebook for you. It's my heart's desire to influence leaders to be able to handle the challenges that we have facing us today in the uncharted waters that are ahead of us. We are going into times, or we are in times when we've never been before as leaders. And I've given you 11 positions that you can take as you're leading diverse organizations, as you're leading diverse teams. I hope you find it helpful. Please share your insights that you're getting from there. An online course will be coming soon, but this is my greatest heart's desire, that we elevate in our call as leaders so that those who are around us can become their greatest selves and also lead greater, whether it be in their home, in the workplace, in the community. Listen, we got a culture that we can shape, reshape, and make it really thriving for everyone. Let's make sure we step up to the plate to take our part, to play our part, to influence those around us. Have a great day. I enjoy speaking with you. And until next week, be safe. Bye-bye.